Hey guys, I'm CLINTFLAIRWOOO. Welcome back to another Division 2 video. Title Update 6 is less than a week away now, and for some people they're excited, some people are pissed off, some people pitchforks on the way to Sweden to the massive studios because they've had enough. Why? Let's do this. Now guys, Title Update 6, Episode 2, Pentagon, The Last Castle. Bloody mouthful that is. There's two main missions that are going to drop with it. They are 7 days early access for Year 1 pass holders. Now we're going to get 2 classified assignments and the new specialisation, the Nerf gun. Yes it is boys, the Nerf gun. There are major improvements, again, increased build diversity, some dark zone stuff, conflict stuff, targeted loot and more. So we get 38 new branded gear items, a new weapon, exotic piece, expedition and mastery system, and the invaded mode for Manning Zoo, Camp White Oak, and Conflict, Team Elimination, and The Wharf. So we are going to get some content. We are. Admittedly, it is not a lot of content. At the same time, I expected this, and I feel we should have expected this in all fairness. I mean, I'll go through why very shortly, but what I do want to add and do want to clarify and hold my hand up and say, I want balance more than content. I want this game to feel correct, feel balanced, quality life improvements, and that's what I want. So for me, the missions mean diddly squat. The specialisation means jack shit. Classified assignments, if it is what it is. Conflict and more bollocks, I am not interested in. What I'm interested in is the major improvements, and I feel as a collective that's something that we needed fixing more than most. I don't like over masking content and just slapping content on top of content when there's issues at the core of the game, and the core of the game is PvP. There are some real bad rooted problems in PvP, and hopefully Title Update 6 resolves some of these issues. Touch wood. Now, targeted loot is something that will help RNG immensely. Of course it will, because now we know where to go to find the gear that we need and we crave for our builds. So targeted loot is a great addition to the game, and I can take my hat off to the devs for doing this or importing it into the game, because I feel it's a great addition. It really is. We will see increased build diversity now because they have altered so many different builds. We look at Seekers, now they have bleed damage, the new specialisation, the Hive's going to be a thing. So there's so many different builds we can utilise now. SMGs are going to be really strong. Rifles have had a great bump up in power. So there's so much to offer in Title Update 6, and a lot of your builds will have to be reworked for the better, may I add. Now, why do I say that I expected this to happen? And it's because of this slide. Year 1 free content, and as you can see, yet new main missions, new locations, new experiences, and again we can see through the invasion, Episode 1 into Episode 2 and Episode 3. And the ongoing content is the below. And guys, I honestly expected this. I didn't expect a huge array of content. Genuinely, I expected a couple of missions. And again, Episode 3, I expect a couple of missions. But what I do expect in Episode 3 is a raid. The raid has been, again, put back, delayed. Why so? A lot of people are quite annoyed at this. I've seen many content creators shouting from the rooftops, no raid, that's a huge loss. And guys, yes it is. I genuinely believe so. However, at the same time, there are issues with the raid, and I guarantee they're trying to find that balance to get it right, because the last raid, again, in terms of build diversity, was very, very lacking. With this, I do feel they want something to be a little bit different, and you can utilise most builds and have the team dynamic, which would be the key to a raid. It's all about that team dynamic, and it's not in this raid. It isn't. So Raid 2, which is Episode 3, I guarantee it February next year. Now moving on. I was asked the questions, or I posed the question to the community, is this enough content? This is what we feel is acceptable for episode 2. Now, I had a number of responses, in fact, like 28, 29 responses. I handpicked 3 or 4 that I wanted to shout out and give you guys a hello. And I'm going to answer your question for you. And hopefully it's what you want to hear. It may not be, but I'm going to give my spin on these questions. Now, Evan. Now, looking at your surname, I'm going to predict it's Dipasquale. If it is, high five in the comments section. If it isn't, I apologise in advance. You've asked me. I would have preferred a year 1 pass if it meant we got actual content and new game modes. This just isn't enough to keep players engaged. And yes, I agree. I do feel it's not enough content, I agree, but it's what we expected. What we should have expected, may I add, because the trend is that 2 main missions and again the classified assignments and the life improvements and all that jazz. That's what we expect. Well, that's what I expected. Going through the history and what was going to happen, I felt that was just, it is what it is. So I get why you're unfortunately frustrated. I understand, and I do feel it's not enough content to keep us going. Yes, I do, but it's kind of what they said they were going to do, in all fairness. So one thing I would look at, this year 1 is a free year. It's a free year of content. During Garrity, E3, shouted on stage, it's a year of free content. Did you expect this content to be beefed up, rich, full of the best content you can imagine? No. Not in 2019, that ain't going to happen. So, I honestly believe the year 2 pass, which will be announced in March, I do feel that will have a raft of new content at a price. You know, think Rainbow Six content, think Ghost Recon Wildlands in terms of the year passes there. There will be a good raft of content at a price. So that's something to bear in mind. Is that something that you want to go down? Again, I can't answer that for you, but what I will say is this content that we've got available isn't going to get much better until year 2. It is what it is, you know? So that's something I would bear in mind. And again, I agree it's not enough, but still, that's what we are going to get. Hopefully that's answered your question, buddy. Now, Christian Buller, he says, I think in about 2 years it might be worth a look. I just don't get it. Did they make it like this so you buy their other games? On the other hand, Div 1, Dark Zone is totally nuts. It's just crazy fast. Everyone and their aunties going rogue, just epic cheers. Woo! Now, one thing I want to say before I carry on is if your auntie is in New York, in the Dark Zone, going rogue, let me know, because I'm going to reinstall it, get on it and go rogue hunting, because I just want to add to my rogue kills. It's as simple as that. Now, to answer the question, I agree. 2 years, I think this game will be where it's at, because what we're going to have the year 1 content, which is minimal, we know that. Then the year 2 content, which is going to be beefed up, fleshed out, and it's going to be content rich. So yes, I guarantee in 2 years' time, or I should say 18 months' time, the game will be at its peak. Definitely agree. I don't think they made it like this. I honestly believe that they felt we would enjoy what they are offering us at this present time. But we know that's not the case. I don't think they can recapture the atmosphere of the Division 1, and especially the DZ. I don't think they have that just yet, partially because of the atmosphere, the ambience of the Dark Zone in Division 1. They can't imitate that for Division 2. I genuinely hope it does happen, but I can't see it happening. But yes, Division 1 PvP is on point in my opinion. Division 2 PvP is way off, and partially because of balance. And hopefully this patch gives us somewhat balance, some semblance of balance anyway, so we can move forward with the game and have more quality life improvements and also more content added on top to make it better. But yes, fella, I completely get it. In 2 years, this game will be great. It will be at its peak. I do agree. Now, going on to something different, we're going to go through this one. This gent here, Tetsuo Douglas, this guy He regularly comments on my videos and my community section. So kudos, sir. Thank you very much. And they're always extremely well construed. So, sir, well done. Honestly, I think it may be a lot to expect to keep players around for continuous play. Meaning, I think there will be an increase for the 2 months once TU6 drops, but would drastically decline once everyone refarms all the gear they need for the meta builds. I pretty much played Division 1 every day to the release of Division 2. It's only a few months since the release, and I find myself switching out the game for old games I haven't played since 2016. There just doesn't seem to be enough content to keep me engaged at the moment. Very, very similar to how I feel, in all fairness. And again, very similar to the path that I took. And again, from 2016, I missed out on so many games that I look back and I do regret. And I spent 3,000 plus hours. I know to some people that's a minuscule time, but that, for me, that's a lot of time for one game. Look at the second game was Destiny. It was about 600 hours. So I input all of my everything into the Division. And it wasn't so much about the content. This is where we differ slightly. For me, it was not about the content. It was about the PvP. And the PvP felt right. I'm not going to say it's balanced because I don't think it was balanced as it could have been. It took them to 1.7, 1.8-ish to get where it needed to be. That's a long time, 2 years in all fairness. So, but I loved the feeling of the tension of going into the DZ and playing PvP. That was just my favourite moment in any game. And that cannot be rectified, or that cannot be implemented in Division 2 as it stands. So I don't feel that love in that respect. Now, I much more prefer Division 2 PvE to PvE in Division 1, in all fairness, but I do feel the grind is very dissimilar, and it needs to get more so in track with the original game. Now, I do agree, 2 months is what we're going to have. The way I see things, in the next 2 months, we will see the TU6. I can see as soon as players start to drop, we're going into December, and then we're looking at the apparel event, which Christmas will bring, and then we'll see plenty of Fat Santas running around the DZ and PvE. Expect that to happen. So we'll be an apparel event over Christmas, and about that time, I honestly believe they will announce the PTS for Episode 3, which will launch beginning of Jan. Episode 3 will then fully launch in February. That's my opinion, and that will be the time of the next raid. They will go hand in hand, or they'll coincide. That's my opinion. Is that enough content? I feel that's what they promised us. That's what they gave us, or what they will give us in the next couple of months. But yes, I agree, it is not enough. There needs to be more modes. What do we need? And I'm sure someone will answer that question for me, but I'm sure I can give you a few heads up, and that is survival, and that is underground. Why have they not been spoke about? It needs to happen, it genuinely. Now, Mr. Commendation, absolute stellar guy. Lengthy response. Let's do this. Raids destroy the game, in my opinion. If they want to implement raids, they should have a raid each 3 months. If they had a flex PvP balance, it would be better, as you are forced to maintain PvE right now. Maybe some of the content, the missions based, like underground, survival, captures, PvP missions, leaderboard rewards, and refreshings once a month or 2. That give actual leaderboard apparel, keys, or backpack trophies. Other big grindy commendations, better than 10-minute grind commendations, you know what I mean. Yeah, I do. I mean, the content is still better than Division 1 in its early stage, but there is something missing good. Yes, mate. Working backwards, content is better than Div 1. Yes, big thumbs up. It generally is. Falcon Lost was a piece of shit. If anyone disagrees, I'm sorry, mate. I just did not enjoy that incursion one little bit. Just no. Moving on. Yes, then Mr. Commendation wants more commendations. I knew he'd say that. It's just obvious. But yes, it's true. There needs to be more commendations, and I would love bigger commendations that you can grind for. And a simpler process as well, because they're hidden in a menu. Once you earn a commendation, there should be a freaking achievement on the screen. Something should pop up, say you have earned this. Again, back to old school Division 1. Why have they done it so ridiculously stupid? Anyway, rant over. Leaderboards, yes, I'd agree with leaderboards. That would be a great idea. Yes, underground survival. There's something. There must be an iteration they can put into episode 3. But I'll be honest with you, with this, I genuinely feel that they're working on something going into year 2 content that will have something. You've got to look at this now and say there will be something big for year 2 content that will make you want to pay the money. Underground, survival, better PvP, DZ, New York maybe. There'll be so many more options, and I do feel they will have a trump card lined up. Now, raids destroyed the game. It's created a gulf, and I think it's created a divide between certain communities, certain individuals maybe. But that's just the nature of the beast, in my opinion. I don't think there's a way you can get round that. But I do feel it's virtually impossible to do a raid every 3 months. I'm not a developer, but I do know raids are very intricately designed, and to implement these mechanics every quarter would be a tough toll on any development team, and massive, and not the biggest dev team. So yeah, that's something I don't feel they have the capacity to do, in all fairness. It would be nice, but I don't think it's possible. I may be wrong, but yeah, I don't think it is. Thanks for the comment. Now, finally, DJ Georgie Porgy. You know what's messed up about this game? It's RNG. I still don't have the BTSU gloves after months of grinding for it. One of the major things that they haven't and still won't fix post TU6. One of the reasons why players have moved away. Yes, fella. Again, mate. I mean, I'll be hands up and say RNG's game has really frustrated me and hampered my experience with Div 2. Now, I've said this on a few videos that me and my buddy, the awesome one, we have the same freaking backpack, which is gear score 457 we've had since we entered World Tier 5. It was a vendor reset. And the backpack was tech support. It was destructive. It was just your perfect skill backpack. I've never seen anything drop anywhere near as strong as that since. And again, the armor's lower because it's a 457 freaking gear score. So yeah, annoying. RNG in this game is a disgrace. It genuinely is. And for anyone to say otherwise, my RNG's not bad. It's like, mate, you have my RNG, we've got a problem. You know, it is bad. So the RNG needs to be fixed. Yes, I agree. Now, with Title Update 6, we're going to get targeted loot. This means that we go to certain places to find certain things. Now, with that, and what you want, BTSU gloves, again, you won't find that any easier. But still, farm Black Tusk, and fingers crossed, in time it does drop. If it doesn't, I do apologise, fella. It is what it is. But I do understand your pain, and I completely get it. Now, with the gear and so on, with the targeted loot, I just genuinely hope it ain't bloody broken, because if it is, a lot of pissed off people are going to be waiting in the wings, trust me. So RNG is on the road to recovery, but it is a marathon, not a sprint. So I do believe in time this will be in such a better place. And I'm looking forward to testing the RNG in targeted loot in terms of what I need. And what I will do is testing this alongside the backpack that I need. It's an absolute armor backpack. So I'm going to farm for that backpack and see how long it takes me to get that particular gear set item. So fingers crossed. But guys, there you go. This is it. I've answered a few of your questions. Hopefully I haven't offended anyone. Hopefully I've got everyone's name correct, even you missed a commendation. But guys, Title Update 6 is not what everyone wants to hear. It's not what everyone wants from the game. It's not content rich. Hands up. I accept that. I agree. It's not what we need. First and foremost, balance is more important than any content you can have. So if the balance is right, big if, then the game will move forward. The content will smash out anyway, but the balance has to be right. The balance will bring players back. And then in time, more content will come. Episode 3, then into the year 2 pass. I do feel that the player base will start to wind down over Christmas and in the new year, but we'll pick up again going in February, March time when the new fresh content drops, especially the raid. So guys, it's going to be a rocky few months. I genuinely believe that. But as I said, I would rather a better player experience with the game than just more new missions. I don't like masking. I don't like putting shit on top of shit when I'd like to smooth that shit out to make sure it's balanced as possible. But guys, if you enjoyed this video, drop a like. If you want to see more content on Division 2, then please smash the sub button. Drop your thoughts below. I'd love to hear what you've got to say. And again, guys, I can't please everyone, but I hope you've enjoyed this one. Guys, take it easy. Peace.